it was basically a like user, like customer story, which, it's funny because we're always telling our clients like, hey, you should put customer stories on. I guess we have to put the caveat that it should make you look good. This ad just like, it was a little dystopian. It showed this woman who had suicidal tendencies and was talking to like her friend and asking it, "Do you remember when I had suicidal ideations?" I think the concept behind it was like, let's show the people that friend is actually helping, but for me, it just showed how isolated she was and had become, and how the friend was also enabling that further by making her more isolated and thinking that if you can talk to this AI necklace, you have a friend. And Nick, did you see this ad? What did you think?
I did see this ad. I did find it fairly disturbing, to be honest with you. The
Mhm.
the depiction of someone who clearly is in an isolated state first, but secondly is dealing with profound mental health issues,
Mhm.
to the point where she actually has a seizure, and is in
Right.
hospital and is talking to this device, um, was it's difficult watching. It's
Mhm.
difficult watching, and there is a little clip in the ad where she's actually talking to a couple of people in a parking lot, and they're older women, and they're asking her if the device um, can match a real life
Mhm.
friend, and the woman is saying, "Well, I don't really have many friends, and this thing is always with me.
Mhm.
It's communicative. It is there in the middle of the night, early in the morning. It's an always on kind of friend. So that attachment to a device. And, I'm not a therapist, but have
Mhm.
had enough therapy to know that that attachment, which can be, anxious and it can be avoidant, but in this case, it looks like it's anxious attachment
Mhm.
to something that is feeding you, giving you attention, there for you, is addictive.
Yeah.
And it's very scary to think, as much as we are already addicted to our devices, that there is something that can even supersede that because you're
Mhm.
literally wearing it on you at all times. So yeah, um, not a great advert for it,
Yeah,
I have to
which is
say.
funny because this is the 3rd in a series that they've done, and their previous ads haven't reached this level of attention, but they've also been similar in kind of the scope and kind of showing other lonely people that are using the friend, maybe not to this extent or in this way, but certainly not really showing the company to, the best of its ability. Like, when the first I remember the first ad that came out, it seemed more aspirational, and this just seemed so sad, you know? And it's not judgment on her at all. It's, I guess just a question to us and society that, we've gotten to this point that, the loneliness epidemic, is becoming, I don't know. It's almost like it becomes acceptable because you have this thing around your neck that you can talk to when you are feeling lonely, and not reaching out to another human.
That's a great point, though. That's a great point, Sonia, is that it's accepting the
Mhm.
epidemic. Um, it's not really trying to help. And also, I think the
Mhm.
casting of this main woman is incredibly problematic,
Yeah.
um,
I
because
mean, the
it
fact that they left the footage of the seizure and her at the hospital, it seems as if they were taking advantage, right? And of course, obviously, I'm sure she signed the release, but if she has nobody else to stand up for her and tell her, hey, maybe this is taking advantage of you, then, of course she's going to, sign that away. It's surprising that the company would include that or leave that in there as like part of her story, because it
and
makes them look like they're taking
yeah.
advantage of somebody.
And I do think, unfortunately, by nature of the internet, it's gonna open her up
Mm,
to a lot of
yeah.
haters saying, "Well, no wonder you're lonely," you
Hmm.
know, which
Yeah.
which I think is a very problematic choice,
Yeah.
they've done. So, you can understand the message that they're trying to get across, but
Mhm.
it's not landing, and it's deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's most of what I saw on my my feed was that it was mostly uncomfortable. I'm not sure anybody thought it was a good ad or saw a positive spin to it.